so
darling.
excited. I'm so
Another
excited.
Monday.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Oh, our competition. We have a winner.
Oh,
Fantastic competition. Yes, and her name is Leslie McEachin, and she's come into the nest to see us.
Where are you, Leslie?
Hi there. Welcome.
There
to
you
the
are.
Leslie.
Leslie,
Congratulations.
I am so excited that you have won our competition. And what you wrote in your little thing that, you know, because when we were looking for the competition winners and we had thousands and thousands, but what you wrote was so lovely. Can you tell everybody what you wrote in your competition entry?
I can't really remember.
Well, you won,
brilliant.
darling, so that's all that matters.
Yeah,
exactly. What you actually wrote is that you wanted to share it with your family because you'd had a hard year.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I've had knee replacement done, so I do competitions. That's all I do. I sit from morning till night doing competitions, and fill my time in. You know, typical housewife.
How many have you won? Have you won many?
I've won absolutely loads of things. People that say they don't win, fair enough, but I've won rugby tickets. I've won.
Well, Leslie, you're a dedicated competition, you know, worker. Not many people do that, so you're deserved, and you've won this one, which is fantastic. Let's see what she's had, what she got, girls.
Well, you've got this fantastic treatment, wonderful treatment with the Cosmetic Skin Clinic, which is lovely sort of laser treatment and infusion of stuff to make your face look absolutely gorgeous. That's worth £1,000.
Do with some of that.
Yeah.
Well, we could all do with some of that, love. Yeah. Also, you've won with Andrew Barton, who is the most wonderful hairdresser, a complete and utter makeover. Isn't that fantastic? I know we all need roots and everything. So he is brilliant, Leslie. Absolutely brilliant.
Brilliant. Definitely do with some of that.
And yes, and to keep the skin looking great, you've got a derma wand, which actually is fantastic, because I've tried that myself. And also a no, just in case you have any little...
I've got a few of those as well.
Yeah.
But you know what, Leslie, most importantly, I think you've won a lot of hydration. So you've got the amazing Jai tea, which is cleansing, beautiful, amazing, unique teas. And then, of course, wines with stories, which is very important because it's health giving, darling. It's all fruit and it's hydration. So you can't go wrong.
It is organic, actually.
It is, darling, and each wine has a story to go with it. So we need to hear about those. And you will be sharing all of this, as you said, with your family. But we are so honoured. We're so honoured and thrilled that you did our competition and that you won. So thank you so much for seeing us today, and enjoy all those lovely
Have a lovely time.
Have a lovely Christmas, darling, with your family.
Bye, darling.
Leslie, bye-bye. Lovely to see you.
Darling.
Bye. Happy Christmas. Bye. Love to Newcastle.
Oh, what an amazing set of gifts. They really are spectacular.
They are fabulous.
I want them.
Great stuff.
So Sherry, who's coming in?
Well, this is a very interesting girl. Her name is Emily Evans, and she's a property expert. So I think she advises people as well. And I think in this time, we really need her. So come in, Emily.
Hi, Emily.
There she is.
Emily.
Hello, darling. Welcome to our nest.
Good to see you, Emily. I mean, we've been. I have a lot of family and friends in this terrible COVID year that have been struggling with mortgages and buying houses, and it's just so horrendous, this situation that they've been in. Fortunately, some of them are fine now, but not all of them. Has it affected everybody like I've seen, or not?
I think the strange thing from my point of view is I didn't expect it to be anything like what's happened since the first lockdown. I personally expected there to be a big housing crash. And then the government brought in abolishing stamp duty land tax. And next thing we know, we're experiencing this ridiculous property bubble, which has just been mad. But I understand it from people's point of view in terms of buying, because if they're not having to pay stamp duty, of course, they're going to be saving themselves, let's say, around an average price of about £5,000.
Yeah.
But from my point of view is, if house prices are going to crash, they're going to be losing more than £5,000 on their property price. So
absolutely.
At the moment, people are having mortgages declined, which, if I'm honest, I don't think that's a bad thing at the moment. If they're having mortgages declined, it's because the mortgage companies and the lenders are seeing something that other people aren't seeing. I don't know what your thoughts are on the property market, but from my point of view, I do think that we're going to be seeing, we've seen a bubble, and I think we're going to be seeing a crash next year.
I absolutely agree with you, Emily. There will be a crash, and there'll be a lot of people in a lot of trouble. So you're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
And it's scary because the government, I get what the government are doing, don't get me wrong. I get that they're trying to keep everything going and keep the economy going. But the problem is they're screwing over especially young people, because young people want to buy. So they're like, wow, okay, fantastic. We're going to save £5,000. We don't have to pay stamp duty. It makes sense to buy. And at the same time, yes, it's great. If you can get on the property ladder now, fantastic. But don't expect to sell that house for at least 5 years, because prices are going to go down before they go back up again.
Now, darling, I want to ask you, you had a property empire by the time you were 29. Not that I'm bitter or anything, but I want to know, where did this passion start with? Was it a doll's house? What started you off on this property market escalation that you're now a guru and an inspiration for people?
Do you know what? It's really strange. Like when I think I bought my first house when I was 19, and I just never expected to, suddenly it just happened and I bought an absolute wreck. And I'd worked like hours and hours and hours I worked all day, and then I'd get home and I'd work all night till like midnight renovating this property. And I just loved it. I realized that what I could do with my own hands. And again, at the time I didn't know what I was doing, but you learn, you watch videos. I was 19 years old and I had pulled out all the windows of all the sash windows of my house.
Wow.
All the glass, I reglazed them, I reputtied them all, and I rehung them. And the only mistake I made was I didn't put heavier weights in them because the new glass was too heavy. And it's like, it's amazing that you can teach yourselves these things and then make so much more money.
So you're like a kind of property superhero. Wow. And I will leave it there. Moving on.
The thing is, I know you work with George Clark. I mean, I'm from Sunderland as well. We're having a Geordie Weir side show today, the North East show. But I know you've worked with George Clark, and I absolutely love all the stuff that he's doing as well. How do you find working with people like him, and also on the shows that you've worked on, Homes Under the Hammer? I'm addicted to everything.
He's amazing. George is fantastic. And what I love about George as well is he also gets involved in housing. So yeah, he'll go and present all these fantastic shows, but also he's really passionate about helping people. Like in the UK, for example, he had a big stance on council houses and having more council houses built and not selling them off, so that people weren't able to buy council houses, so there weren't any council houses left for people to actually own them, to actually live in themselves. So I love him. He has a great presence about him, very handsome, very tall, and just a lovely man that wants to help people as well, which I think is so important when you're kind of a figurehead of an industry. You've got to be able to help people, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And Emily, you talked about a crash maybe, or a mini crash, but what about you for the future? What do you see? How do you see the property market and your plans for the future?
So this year's been really, because I've also got a letting agency, so it's been a difficult year. We've got tenants not paying rent, which means that landlords don't end up paying us. I think, there's going to be a crash next year. It's going to be difficult for a couple of years, but markets always recover. So it'll be fine. Markets always recover. But my stance is, I've sold one this year, and I don't normally sell properties, but I thought it was worth way more than I thought it was actually going to be worth. So I've sold one to hopefully buy another couple next year, which it's really sad because ultimately I don't want that to be happening, because it's terrible for everyone else that's having to sell their properties at a lower rate. But at the same time, that's kind of my plan, because I haven't had a great year this year, I will be buying when prices are lower next year.
Yeah, well, that's great. Thank you so much, Emily.
Emily, come back and see us
advice.
soon, please.
Thank you so much for having me on. Thank you,
Thank
ladies.
you.
Bye, darling.
Bye, Emily.
Very interesting.
She is a
Interesting.
superhero,
Fantastic.
super smart,
She
amazing young woman.
Really
Yeah,
is.
and it's so
Yes.
important that people hear this now, because
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
are going to get frightened. Very
Absolutely, and she's very honest, very transparent,
Yeah.
but hopeful as well. So, which is
Yeah.
great, isn't
We
it?
should have her back and ask her about mortgages and things that we can have
Yeah,
when we
absolutely.
reach,
Yeah.
when we reach over
Absolutely.
35.
Absolutely. Well,
Oh, definitely.
girls, I tell you, I'm very excited because we have two gorgeous guys flying into the nest. They are not just gorgeous guys, they're also mega talented musicians. They've had #1 hits all over the world in more than 70 countries, including the United States. Right Said Fred are flying into the nest.
Oh,
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hello, darlings.
Hello, there you are.
Yeah, we are. Sorry, we're a bit black.
Hi.
We're a bit black.
How are you?
Yeah. We're all right.
Yes.
We're fine. We're in a bit of a crappy hotel room waiting to do some TV show.
Oh, really? Whereabouts are you guys?
Leeds.
We're in Leeds.
Leeds.
Yeah.
Interesting city. Interesting. Darling, Right Said Fred is just the most amazing name. I've always been fascinated by the name, and you, of course.
Yes.
Tell us, how did it originate? Tell us all about that.
It's a song that Bernard Cribbin sung in 1963.
Right.
He had a song called Right Said Fred. In 1989, we were doing some shows around London. Back then, Time Out had a deadline when you had to put the name of the band and the gigs in for their listings. And we were running out of time, and a friend of ours heard the song on the radio. So she banged on my door and she said, call the band Right Said Fred. So we went, all right.
And it starts.
Simple as
And
that.
it's brilliant.
Yeah, that's it, yeah,
And yeah, and darling, you have worked with every icon. I mean, you're icons yourself, but every icon. Taylor Swift most recently,
Yeah.
and also Bowie, everyone. I mean, is there anyone that you haven't worked with, and is there anyone you would like to work with?
We haven't worked with Elvis.
Didn't work with
Oh.
Elvis. Or
Oh,
Mozart.
no.
You'll have to wait for that. Unless
Mozart.
he's
You
still
couldn't get hold of
alive.
him.
You couldn't get hold of him. Won't answer the phone.
No.
No.
I'd like to work. Personally, I'd like to work with. I would like to have worked with Phil Spector.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing.
A learning point
Yes,
of view
yeah.
of production.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that would have been
Absolutely.
amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Darlings,
yeah,
I'd like to
fabulous.
ask you, I would like to ask you, because there's lots of brothers, as we know, who are in the music business who don't always get on, but you two seem to have got on, and you're sharing a hotel room, so it can't all be bad. And
Only for the interview.
okay, I wondered. Now I've got clarity. So
Yeah.
tell me, has it been an amazing journey together? Do you ever get really pissed off with each other, but you're still together?
We don't get really pissed off because we had more important things to worry about than arguing about
Yeah.
trivia.
Yeah.
I think Richard's partner was ill for like 27 years before he
Yeah.
passed away in
Yeah.
2010.
10.
So when you have, and mum was ill with Alzheimer's for 7 years. So when you have that stuff in your life,
Absolutely.
you get priorities. You get your priorities.
But
Yeah.
your work and your passion is being together, and that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and when we get pissed off, we just go separate ways.
Yeah.
And
then Fred apologised.
I apologise. I sent him flowers.
Everything then is fine.
That's okay.
Oh.
There you go.
Well,
Perfect.
I want to ask you this dreaded question about lockdown. I mean, where I am up in Manchester, all the restaurants spent thousands, with their restaurants, and now they're in tier 3.
Yes.
All that money wasted and gone. And how do you two feel?
Well, we feel exactly the same. We think we're part of a group on Twitter called Time for Recovery, which involves Harvey Goldsmith and Sirocco Forte, people like that. And it's to do with the fact that lockdowns don't work. They're counterproductive. They create a whole new load of problems, and they will not do anything to solve to help the virus. In fact, I read a report that hospitality was only responsible for 3% of cases. That was
Yes.
not long ago.
Yeah.
So I think it is a hammer to crack a nut. It's ridiculous.
Also, the thing that strikes me as odd is if the first one was any good, why do we need a second one?
Absolutely.
And now they're softening us up for a third one. I don't know if you read the thing from
I know, and you know, I was at a garden centre yesterday. The garden centre was packed, but their coffee shop was closed.
Yeah.
You know, and their coffee shop, all the tables were distanced. It was, you know, because I've been in there and it was really safe.
Yes.
And yet, hundreds of people they're allowed in to the action. None of it made sense. It's like madness.
I know. In this hotel, you can eat downstairs, providing it's cold food. But if you want a hot breakfast, you have to come up to your room.
You have to get it.
Yeah.
You have to take it
And
on a tray.
You have to take it on a tray up to your room.
Yeah, you do.
Doesn't make sense.
But you can sit downstairs and have coffee and croissant.
Yeah, but you can't come up with an egg.
But you can't come up with an egg.
Those
I will say this though, that in the Great Reset, there is a comment towards the very, very end, which says that this pandemic is one of the least contagious and one of the least serious ones we've had in 2,000 years.
Guys, tell me, what's your new single? Tell us all about it.
Well, the single's called "We're All Criminals." We originally wrote it a few years ago about mass surveillance and the intrusion of the state in terms of our everyday lives. And then when first lockdown happened, we would look at some songs, and then we thought we'd revisit that song. So we've rewritten the chorus and rewritten some of the lyrics. And basically, it's just about the erosion of privacy, of civil liberties, and the mission creep of the government into our everyday lives. That's what the song is.
Very interesting. Very now.
Are we allowed to play it? That's what we want to know. Are we going to be hammered by PRS if we play it?
No. Play away.
Thank you. It's fabulous. That video is fabulous.
And I'm such huge fans, and even more of a huge fan for the fact that my daughter sometimes works with you as a backup singer, doesn't she?
That's right. Yes,
that's true. Very, very good.
Yes, yeah, of course. Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I know if I have a facelift or something, perhaps I can pretend I'm her.
You won't need.
No.
You don't need
I'm
a
singing
No,
lessons.
don't go there, Debbie.
Please. Matron.
Oh, boys, listen, it's so lovely to see you. It really is. I can't wait to see you again in the flesh, Richard, and cook for you, even though you can't remember.
Oh, yes.
Can we have this story, please? Because it's a very important story. Debbie never cooks, but has cooked once. Is that correct?
For you.
And gentlemen, I need to know, do you remember the meal?
No, it was only Richard.
No. Oh,
no.
God.
And Richard doesn't remember. He doesn't remember, and there'll be a reason. And there's
what you meant, Talia.
I was too busy lining up the cook.
There you go.
That's the right answer.
But I would say a conspiracy. I think it's a conspiracy theorist. I'm sorry, I don't think she ever cooked. I think it's a lie. It's a conspiracy.
Oh, boys,
thank you.
Thank you so much for coming to see us.
Pleasure.
We'll see you very soon, I hope.
Absolutely. I look
See you
forward to
soon, darling.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Of course it's a conspiracy. You've never cooked. We know that. It's a complete lie.
That is hilarious.
Clarity.
Hilarious.
Oh,
Clarity at last.
I'll tell you, the weirdest thing happened to me yesterday, girls. I've got a hack for you. Well, I was doing my nails. Do you do your nails in bed?
No.
Sometimes.
No, I was doing my nails in bed, and you can see the colour of them, can't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was a light grey carpet and brand new red nail varnish. So I'm doing my nails in bed like that, and I go like that, and all the nail varnish falls on the carpet.
Oh,
on the carpet.
Disaster.
So I'm going, so I leap out of bed thinking, I know, nail varnish remover. I do that, makes it worse.
Yes.
So then I go, control yourself, onto Google. So it goes, alcohol. Okay, I think I've got gin downstairs.
Yeah.
Hairspray. I've got hairspray and water. So I zoomed out and a scrubbing brush.
Stop it.
I ran downstairs. I started. I put gin on it. I put hairspray on it, and I put water on it, and it's gone. And I scrubbed it.
Wow.
And again,
darling, we are the housewives of the future.
We certainly are.
So it's alcohol. So I use some gin, obviously white gin. Don't use pink gin or red gin.
No.
Yeah.
No.
gin,
White gin.
hairspray, like 15 pumps of hairspray. So you put hairspray all over it. The quicker
Right.
you can do it, the wetter the nail varnishes is, the better. 15 pumps of hairspray,
Right.
a little bit of gin, lots and lots of water, and a scrub, and just keep going. And then if it doesn't come out, put more of it on.
Wow.
I'm so excited
You
by
can-
this. I'm going to go and put a nail varnish on my carpet and just see if I can do it.
You could
And don't
make
drink the
bottles
gin.
of this, Debbie. You could make bottles of this and sell them.
Yeah.
Wonderbird remedy, carpet
There
remedy.
you go.
Can I just tell you one?
product?
Yeah.
You can
Can I
drink
just
it
tell
as
you
well.
one more?
Yeah.
Can I just tell you one more? My son-in-law swears by lemons, right? Now
What
the
do you
thing
mean?
is, well,
What do you mean?
what I mean
Swears
is
by lemons.
not
He goes
sucking
and-
lemons.
He goes
in
and swears
cleaning
at
with-
them. No. Oh, okay. Sorry.
What he does actually, he squeezes lots of lemons and cleans everything. And apparently, it's the acid in lemons that gets stains out. So
Okay.
it's really, really good. And also, he sometimes mixes it with white vinegar. So
Right.
that's another. It wouldn't have got the nail varnish out though, darling.
No.
No.
It's the hairspray that surprises
Isn't
me.
it true that Coca-Cola can get rid of rust and
Yes.
just about anything?
Yes, it does.
I've also got another carpet hack as well, because when I was when I was in Sweden, Kira got loads and loads of blusher over her light grey carpet, and you know what got that out? Blusher is shaving foam.
Oh,
White.
So
Darling.
you put the shaving foam on
I'm
the carpet.
writing this down.
Yeah, you leave it there, and then the next day you keep putting loads and loads of shaving foam, and then you start to scrub it, and then it lifts up the blusher. That's blusher. So we've got blusher and nail varnish. So Debbie's
Now, Debbie, the next
Darling.
thing we need is lipstick. How do we get lipstick out?
I'll
Probably
find
The
out.
carpet? What are you doing on the carpet? What are you doing on the carpet with your lipstick? Come on.
Oh,
anything.
one more
What-
for Christmas.
Oh my
Definitely,
God.
this is a good one for Christmas. Red wine on carpets. Red
Right.
wine, salt. Just immediately put loads of salt and leave it overnight to soak, and then scrub it in, and it will get rid of it.
Well, I usually throw white wine over red wine.
Oh,
But it
okay.
makes the carpet pink. So
Oh,
maybe
Rosé.
not.
I think
Maybe
Anyway,
Rosé.
guys,
We
on
are a
Wednesday-
fountain of knowledge. This
We
is
certainly
a fountain of cleaning knowledge, and I think we need to stop because I need to go and
Yes.
get some gin.
Yes, Harriet needs to go, but before she goes, on Wednesday we have Gemma Shepherd, who is a stylist from this morning, and Linda Lusardi's bargain bucket. So we'll see you
Yay!
on Wednesday.
All right, girls. See you
Okay,
Do you have any
Thanks.
shaving foam? I don't have shaving foam. What am I going to do?
No,
Oh,
just
Go
gin.
out and buy some. Go out and buy
Yeah.
some. See you guys on Wednesday. Bye, everyone.
Bye.